Hi, Christians, and only Christians. It's me, Editor Darbo, or Drew, depending on how you know me and where you last saw me. I'm here today because Grant is out. He is having a medical issue. Don't worry, he's not going to die yet. Anyway, he had to take an emergency room visit in the middle of the night and drugs, and now he's okay, but he go doctor tomorrow, so we find out more tomorrow. But he's okay. He's just pain, okay? He's pain and he's ER bill. So he's just going to take the day off, and what we're going to do is we're going to relive the good times, the good old days. You remember those, the first few episodes of Twinnuendo when we thought this was going to be something. I just pulled my favorite stories from the first few episodes, and is there a huge chunk of stories just about my dad? Yeah, there is. It was my choice. I'm not the one in the hospital, okay? I can make choices. Anyway, enjoy the episode. Hi, I'm Drew. I'm the gay twin.
I'm Grant.
And he doesn't believe in labels. We are twin brothers who, we've lived different lives. I decided to be a drag queen because my parents didn't love me the way they should have. Grant became a pastor for the same reason.
Yeah, so it's not a joke. I was a pastor. And then, Drew, you went and chose to be gay, right? You made that choice.
Yeah. It was a hard choice, but ultimately, I regret it.
But you're sticking with it all these years later. And here I am turning my back on the church. So
not necessarily. I don't want to be painted into a corner.
So you're, okay.
Well, sometimes Pornhub accidentally takes me to the straight section. And I'm like, well, I'm already here. Can I let you in on a little gay health thing? You want to hear about health?
Yeah, let's do it.
You know how our dad had throat cancer because HPV?
What do you mean because HPV?
The type of throat cancer he had was caused by HPV. Michael Douglas.
Wait, is that 100% of the time it's caused by HPV?
No. But that particular kind is. And that's what Michael Douglas had. Did you not know that?
I knew about Michael Douglas. Our dad had HPV cancer?
Yeah. Grant, what? Dad loved going down on women. He loved it. Even if they hated it, he loved it.
What?
You're the straight one. How do you not know this?
No,
I
know what he loves to do in the bedroom. It's all we talk about. But I didn't know that was the type of cancer. Wait, hang on. So
I don't think I made that up. I just want that to be clear.
It feels made up.
I don't think I did. I don't. Well, anyway, HPV is not fun, but we all have it. And as a gay man,
all humans have HPV?
I mean, people our age, probably. Grant, you probably have HPV. Okay, so pap smear, you have to have it. HPV causes cancer. It can cause cancer. So every year I have to...
As we've seen in our own family, apparently.
In their throat at that.
The throat goat. Our dad.
Thank you. Yeah, Nancy Reagan. Him and Nancy Reagan, they have a lot in common. And their financial policies.
He loves trickle-down economics, dude.
Pokemon go to the polls. I get this pap smear from this doctor, and I got my results back today, and they're abnormal. But that doesn't mean cancer. It just means I've been doing weird stuff with my butt, and we have to do further testing. So I found out about this because years ago in Chicago, I wanted to go to a gay doctor because I was doing a lot of sex. I found this doctor who specialized in anal pap smears and like anal cancers. And he explained it to me. So I started having them done with him. And I'll be honest, I've never had a pap smear come back normal. I've never had a pap smear come back normal.
So why would they come back abnormal if not cancer? What could it be?
It's the cells within your butt, your anal cells, if you will.
I will.
They are built to handle poo-poo coming out. They're not built to have pee-pee coming in. And so...
Wait a second.
I know. Listen.
Hang on. So we were right. It's Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve. All right? There's a design.
And Steve
and there's a designer. And brother.
We're learning. So if you do stuff in your butt, the cells can change. Not like for the worse, just they become
gay.
They become a little gay.
Cells become gay.
And then they do further testing to just make sure it's nothing awful, which so far it hasn't been, knock on wood, knock on wood. Anyway, so I started having these done 12 years ago, and his nurse was like an older gay man, I want to say in his like 70s, and he had jet black, like dyed black hair and a dyed black mustache. And he was always super tanny. He always gave off like just a really kind of weird vibe, but I never had to be like alone with him for longer than like a minute at a time. So I was like, whatever.
Yeah.
But he would do that thing where he would be like, oh, you're looking so handsome today. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I get to take your blood. You look so handsome. Like that kind of stuff.
I don't like that.
No. And at the time I had very low self-esteem. So I thought like, this is great. I'm getting what I need. However, he goes to take my blood one day, and I get really lightheaded. I feel like I'm about to pass out, and I tell him that.
Because he took extra blood because he was keeping some of it at home in his handsome blood jar.
Okay, to be fair,
this was handsome blood.
I don't fault him for that. I don't fault him for that.
Just to put your blood in a handsome blood jar?
Yeah, why not?
Do we sell those yet?
Compliment.
Do we have it branded in our shop, the Twinnuendo
handsome blood jar?
Handsome blood jars.
I'm working on it. I don't know if gay people are allowed to get blood or not, but I'll try. Anyway, so I start to sweat profusely and I'm seeing stars. And so he's like, oh, put your head down between your legs. And so I do. And he's like rubbing my back.
He said your legs and not his.
Well, here we go. He starts rubbing my back and I'm trying to like get him off me because I'm sweaty and it's not a nice
These are my
feeling.
favorite porn setups, by the way. The patient is about to throw up and they put their head down.
Okay, you don't know this. You don't know this, but there is a gay porn company where they make physicals videos. So like a dad will bring his son in to have a physical and then the doctor will help. Anyway, they both end up fucking the son, but they do it with an ultrasound machine. And so you get to see the penis going in and out on the ultrasound. Love is love, so hashtag Target.
Well, I was going to say, like, everything you're describing is a straight porn setup as well. But
you've seen ultrasound porn?
No, that's where you went into the multiverse.
Yeah.
Because I was with you. I was like, yeah, of course. Okay, so a mom brings her child in and then the doctor. Yeah, we've seen all that. But ultrasound. So hang on. Yeah. So where's the ultrasound?
It goes right like above his wiener, the bottom's wiener. So you're seeing directly into where the penis is going in the butt.
This is an enjoyable thing to see, an ultrasound?
Grant, I've been looking at porn for over 20 years.
Sterile.
I've been looking at porn for over 20 years. I just need something different. An ultrasound, I'll take it. Anyway,
it seems, so bizarre. That's like so these guys are having sex on a boat and it's showing up on radar, and I just watched the blip on the screen, and you wouldn't believe how hot those blips are.
I got to be honest, I would watch it.
You'd be into it.
I'm interested. I've seen too much.
Okay.
I've seen too much. Anyway, there I am, trying to get this man's hand off me because I'm uncomfortable because I'm sweaty. And he's like, oh no, my handsome boy. And he keeps calling me his handsome boy. And then he leans down as I'm truly, the passing out is inevitable. And he leans down and he kisses the back of my neck. You live with me now. I have a handsome room that I keep my handsome jars in. I mean, again, I don't fault him for thinking I'm handsome. I get it.
He kissed your neck? A medical professional.
He kissed the back of my neck.
Oh.
So I go back to the doctor's office. I'm in my 20s, so I'm too young to like fight for myself. I don't have any confidence. So instead of being like outraged, I'm instead like, that made me uncomfortable. I just want to let the doctor know so that he can stop that from happening again, but I don't want him to get in trouble. So that's what I did. The doctor came in and I was like, hey, I don't want to make a big deal out of this and I don't want him to get in trouble, but I was starting to faint and he kissed me and I didn't like it. You know what the doctor said to me? The doctor goes, now, Drew, we know that you like to exaggerate. And this is my doctor.
What?
This is not a friend. I don't see him outside of the doctor's office.
Gosh.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
And he just gaslit me. I keep saying, like, no, it happened. He kissed me as I was passing out. It made me uncomfortable. And he's like, okay, well, I don't know that we can keep working together if you're just going to lie.
So then I storm out, and as I'm walking by the front desk, his husband worked the front desk, and his husband never wore deodorant. And his husband goes, "Oh, you have to check out." And I was like, "Fuck you, fuck this place." And I felt like so powerful. And then I just went home and cried because I couldn't believe that the doctor, because I was an idiot, I was a child, I thought like, he must be right. Like, I must have this reputation that even my doctor's like, "You're a liar." And that's scary. That's crazy. And then I switched doctors, and the guy started working for the other doctor. I asked
I almost got you into my handsome room.
100% though. Like, so I was told to go get my blood drawn, and I saw he was the person in the room, and I did go to the front desk and say that I've had a bad experience in the past. Like, can I get someone else? And they did get me someone else. They did gaslight me. Thank you, Howard Brown. Isn't that crazy?
Do you think that guy's still alive?
No, I took care of that. Oh, yeah, probably not. I don't know.
If he is, you could have had a real Pretty Woman moment. What I mean is, now that you're empowered and you're strong, you go in there and bring a bag of your blood.
Big mistake.
And you hand it to someone else for their handsome blood jar. So update on something with Dad.
He doesn't have cancer?
No, we don't know yet. We'll find out tomorrow.
Okay.
June 1st. So I don't have Facebook.
No one does.
And as soon as I moved down here, Dad friended everyone connected to the church I worked for.
Sure.
And he kept doing it. So like, new people would join the church, they'd follow the page, and he would go follow them. Like, he would go friend them.
Okay.
And if they were like, "Who is this?" he'd be like, "I'm the pastor's dad."
Yeah.
That's and so there's a friend of mine, I don't have very many left from the church, but one of them that's still my friend, he checked his Facebook, and Dad popped up in his feed, and he just sent me a text, and he just said, "What the fuck is his problem?" And I was like, what I said, "Dude, I don't have Facebook. You're gonna have to send it to me." On June 1st, he posted a straight pride photo,
right?
That then said, "If it weren't for us, you wouldn't be here." Which,
he's got a point.
Solid point.
He's got a
point. So I was so annoyed, and I'm talking to Angela about it, and Jude, my middle son, who's named after you, Jude Hampton.
Thank you for that.
You're welcome. He's so much like you. It's infuriating.
Get that kid in
always
therapy.
Poking the bear. He's the best, but he overheard me saying something about homophobia. I use that word. And so we were in the car, and he said, "Hey, Dad, what's homophobia?" And I said, it's people who are hateful towards people because of who they love. And he said, "We don't have anybody in our family that has homophobia, right?" I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Grandpa's really homophobic."
Both your grandpas.
And he goes, "Well, true." He goes, "Well, wait, his son's gay." And I go, "Yeah." And he goes, "That's messed up." And I go, "Yeah. Yeah, man, it's messed up." He goes, "Well, I don't have homophobia because I love my Uncle Drew."
Aww.
And I was like, "Okay, well, cool, man." I said, there's plenty of reasons to hate Uncle Drew.
Yeah, I got a list.
The fact that he loves Uncle Curtis, not the thing to hate.
Wow.
But yeah, so had that whole arc of horrible thing from Dad to just a really wonderful exchange with J-Man.
That's so nice. In the before time,
when I was a pastor,
your best friend was Jesus, and
he was what a dude, what a guy.
Y'all got along really well, and y'all got along from the jump.
We really did, which is cool. It's interesting to have such a good relationship with somebody that's so one-sided. He was an excellent listener, didn't really talk much, but oh man. Could he listen?
That's who I'm trying to replace for you. The problem is I'm a bad listener because I don't know if you know this, my twin brother wears hearing aids. So
I do.
In solidarity, I don't hear well either. Where are your ears broken? We're twins. Explain.
I have a disease. They're really, if anyone wears hearing aids, they're super gross and not something you want to show on camera. I have Meniere's disease, which is incurable. So, I mean, I'm terminal, basically, is what I'm saying. It's hearing loss, tinnitus, or tinnitus is actually what it's called, and vertigo.
So tinnitus is this, right?
Yeah, it's in this ear, very loud all the time. It's sometimes in this ear. Are you doing it? Are you doing anything?
Yeah, you can't tell. You can't tell.
I can't differentiate.
Grant, that sounds horrible. I'm so sorry.
It's real bad. The vertigo is the worst part, but I haven't had vertigo, much like Liza Minnelli in Arrested Development.
I was just about to say. Liza Minnelli. Oh, Liza Minnelli lies. That's wonderful.
But I haven't had it in years. I got steroid shots in my inner ear, in my eardrum.
Roid rage.
And it's kept them off. I'm due. They're supposed to wear off about now. So I should start having vertigo episodes again soon. I hope not.
Oh, no. Well, go get more shots.
Well, so you don't get the shots until you have another episode because they're damaging your hearing. Because they're sticking a needle in your eardrum 3 times.
Sure.
Which isn't
modern
really painful.
Medicine.
The last
modern
one.
Medicine. That's fun.
Yeah, I was thinking about just doing leeches. Do you think all of my ailments I have because I'm straight? Like, you're fine. You're doing fine.
Yeah, I think now that you are super very into gay people, like very, very into gay people.
Weirdly.
I think
it makes people uncomfortable.
Gay people make me uncomfortable.
Yeah, it makes everyone uncomfortable.
You'll notice, I think everything's going to get better. Okay.
Oh, okay.
I think it's positive energy. I think it's LGBTQ plus medicine.
I will say that the LGBTQ plus people already are a lot nicer than than the church people.
Well, I can introduce you to some mean ones. I know a few.
You've got a pretty sweet mean streak. Hey, speaking of mean streak,
yeah,
your niece was in Mean Girls.
Did you ever do theater?
Yeah.
Well, we all do.
I did in middle school.
What did you do?
Do you remember?
We did The Secret of My Success. I really don't want to be less, because I know real value is in those all around you. That's the secret of my success.
I remember a different line. Seeking his kingdom and his righteousness. That's the secret of my success.
Okay, I gotta say, that is pushing it. That's pushing the rhyme. I don't love the timing of that. But I'm glad they fired that gay guy who wrote it.
Do you remember like all the different like Christmas songs and stuff that they would change the words to put Jesus in them when Jesus wasn't in them?
Oh, for
Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas.
We were in a mega church middle school musical every year, and it was very adult themes. Like, it was about an office worker. She was trying to find her way. I can't fucking remember, but the songs were bangers. I mean, the songs were so good.
It was like that Michael J. Fox movie.
Oh, okay.
They always did that. They picked something like we were in. We did the Western. Our lead roles were the Western.
Okay.
Western one.
Can I make a complaint? I'm going to write a letter.
Sure.
So my brother and I are twins, right?
What?
And then they picked another random, skinny, weird-looking blonde kid. So it looked like we were all brothers.
What was his name?
I don't know, but I wish him the best. I hope he grew into it. So the 3 brothers, these like cowboy brothers, 2 of them are twins. One of them
Haas and Moss. Haas and Moss. And then they had Pete.
Guess who played Pete, the non-twin? Me.
Because you wanted to.
Wait, I did. Oh, because I wanted to be different.
You want to be different. You didn't want us to be together.
Oh yeah, I didn't want to be the twins.
The deal was,
I guess the complaint is within myself.
It was our 5-6 ministry, 5th grade and 6th grade. And when you're in 6th grade, you get the lead parts because we had tried out for the 5th grade. Do you remember that they had a guy? No one's going to want to listen to this, by the way. This is way
That's okay.
Too
they
deep
can fast forward. No,
but
I like
there was a kid, and probably every theater organization has one of these, where he just happened to be like 6 foot tall. He just looked like an old man. Do you remember him? And he starred in everything because he was just...
Oh, my...
You know what I'm talking about?
God, yes. He was a little doughy.
He was doughy.
He was a tall, doughy man.
Doughy kid. And so he could play anything because he didn't look like
old.
A kid.
I was so
He got
jealous.
every part. And so we tried
He's
out.
Look so old now.
Oh, I'm sure he's not doing well. We tried out in 5th grade, didn't get anything. But in 6th grade, they've got to give you something because it's your final year. And we came to every practice, and we came to everything. And so,
go for the gold, go for God, give him the glory.
I don't remember that. That's deep in your heart. Yeah, they offered us Moss and Hoss, and you said, no, I want to read for Pete.
Good.
Do you remember Dad's joke? He kept calling us Pete Moss.
No.
I ended up being Moss. You ended up being Pete. Pete Moss's fertilizer. He just called us Pete Moss all the time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then you turned out
so
to be
funny.
Piece of shit.
He's so funny. You know, now that I'm seeing it through the eyes of I was the one that made that decision, I think it was smart.
I think it was a smart call.
I love stunt casting. I love turning it on its head. People were probably watching going, I don't know what to expect from these actors, because what a choice.
I tried to continue in drama in the church. You had left in youth group, right? Like you
Hell
had
yeah,
gone,
brother.
you went to a different church.
I went to a different Southern Baptist church, same religion. My mom sobbed. Like I had quit the religion. Little did she know. Anyway, go ahead.
But you
Sorry.
went there because your choir director was there, right?
Yeah, and all the kids from show choir, we all just started going to the church so we could be together all the time. Because you never know when you have to rehearse the choreography. Yeah. Let's get back to death. I am so intrigued by this. Mm-hmm. You were pastor, LOL.
I was pastor. Mm-hmm.
And so people say, Pastor, I die now. And you say, be right there. And then I assume you threw water on them and Bible. Is that correct?
I would throw Bibles on them. Well, like you talked about last time, that when we were kids, we thought about death a lot. Mm-hmm. Because our fundamentalist church upbringing was very much everyone's going to hell unless you get them to pray this prayer and get them on Team Jesus. So we need to go save everybody. And so we thought about death all the time. And I thought about, did you think about your death a lot when you were a kid? I thought about it all the time. Were you scared? Yeah. I was terrified. Yeah. Especially, I had this thought when I was a kid that I always hoped that if I died, that I would like get a few minutes, like that I knew it was coming. And then I could just like pray and ask forgiveness real quick, especially when I was like a little horny kid. I thought about boobs a lot. And I thought God wouldn't like that.
Me
But
too.
He made them.
Me too.
Do you remember
Not
I used to draw them all the time?
Wieners. All little kids draw boobs all the time. Boobs are
we were
hilarious.
on a road trip one time, and you called me out on drawing boobs. Do you remember this?
No.
So Drew and I are very artsy. We can both draw. We both have the ability.
Tee-hee.
Okay, well, I have it more, I guess. And so I remember being a teenager and realizing, like, I could draw boobs. I could draw things. Mm-hmm. I'll draw boobs. And I was doing it in the car. We're on a road trip, and Drew looked in the reflection of the van. I mean, I'm sure it was like a 12-hour road trip, so you get bored.
The Suburban.
Rat
Probably
your brother
the Suburban.
out. Probably the Suburban, maybe the minivan, I'm not sure. But he looked at the reflection, and he was like, Mom, Grant's drawing boobs. And I want you to know that since that day, I have ne'er drawn a boob since.
I stand
That's
by
not true.
it.
I'm doing it right now.
I stand by it. Listen, in Microsoft Paint, I stand by it. I think if you had drawn what I wanted you to draw, which was two penises holding hands, then we wouldn't be in this situation.
Penises holding hands. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, I thought about death a lot as a kid. All that to say, I thought about death a lot as a kid.
I've never touched a deceased person.
What? Like our grandmother or anybody?
Mm-mm.
Why?
I don't know. I don't know.
I'm surprised by that.
I am too.
It's by choice. Like you've been at visitations and you've been, and you're just like, mm-mm. And in LA, correct me if I'm wrong, they do it Ferris Bueller style, right? They prop everyone up and they put sunglasses on them.
So that's Weekend at Bernie's.
What did I say?
Ferris Bueller. But
Matthew Broderick, wherever you are, I hope you're doing well. And that was not a threat on your life. I want to say
he's
that.
such a big fan. Thank you for listening, Matthew.
Thank
we
you,
really
Matthew.
appreciate it, Maddie.
Matthew.
Okay, tell me about the lady who was mean her whole life.
Oh,
you teased it in the last
rough.
episode, but I want to hear.
She was rough. So this will never get back to her, but I'm going to give her a different name anyway because it makes me feel better. Janet. Okay. We're going with Janet. So in the old church that I worked in Memphis, they would have old ladies that would come in, retirees, and they'd answer the phones, and they'd be like the receptionist, right? So it gave them something to do, and they would like fold bulletins and whatever. But she was super old, super terrible, super mean. Like people would come in and she'd be like, "What the hell do you want?" And we'd be like, "All right, Janet, let's take it down a notch." I had a friend of mine. I had a friend. Well, here you go. You know what? You're gonna not hold on to that stance much longer. So a friend of mine was an African American pastor in the area.
Oh no!
And he was meeting me for lunch, and he said, "Hey, I'm in your lobby." And I said, "Okay, come in. Like my office is just right through the hallway. Just go into the offices." And so he goes, "Okay." And I didn't know why he cared. So all of a sudden, Janet is there. She's at the front desk, and she yells down the hallway, "Grant, there's a colored boy here to see you." And I said, "What color is he?" And so I went up there and was so apologetic.
God.
He said, "That's why I called you from the lobby." He said, "As soon as I saw that old white bitch," he said, "I knew."
Oh.
He goes, I just knew it. I knew she was going to say something terrible." And I was like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. She's the worst."
Maybe hell. Let's pretend that hell was real for her.
Just for her.
Maybe it was real for
it's
her.
just a real small. Her and Hitler are in that box, or he might not be in your version of hell. So.
God,
she was she was terrible, and so she was sick and dying. We went to the hospital to see her, and it was literally like her organs are failing or something. She had, I don't know what she had, but it was basically like, all right, this is it. Like she's got
we
a
call
day
that
or
racist
two.
rot.
She had racist rot deep in her bones. And so we come in, and I've never seen someone so scared to die. And she must have been like 90. So how could that be a surprise? But she was terrified, and she was pissed off that she was dying. And so the pastor I had, Brother John, old Brother John, that's what you called him, Brother John. He was a sweet guy, he really was. But he's trying to comfort her. So he's like holding her hand, and he's like, listen, baby. You know that Jesus has got you. He's taking care of you. He's got a plan. And she's like, well, he's not doing a damn good job, is he? I'm dying.
Oh my God.
And before we left the room,
I love her.
Like Brother John was like, Grant, why don't you, because he's getting nowhere with her. Like she is pissed. And she said, why don't you try to pray with her, before we leave? So I go over there to Miss Janet, would you mind if I pray with you? And she goes, what damn good's it gonna do? I'm dying.
Okay, I love her.
Except
That's
for the
amazing.
racism.
Oh yeah, no, she can
What
burn.
damn good's it gonna do? I'm dying.
For someone who made everyone around her so miserable, does it feel a little karma?
That
to quote
she,
JoJo Siwa, karma's a bitch.
that
she should have known better.
Also she had out of town family. So when it comes time to the funeral, out of town family always ask, were you there? Like they want to know what did you visit her in the hospital? People ask that all the time. And what they want to hear is like, oh, she was so
her
peaceful
final moments.
and she saw, Jesus came to get her. She was pretty scared and pissed off. And she yelled at us the whole time. And so you don't want to tell her.
She was scared because she knew she was going to burn for all eternity.
I really don't know what
were her last words.
She was, why are my feet hot?
Oh my God. Well, may she rest. I gotta say, except for the
Janet.
racism, she sounds iconic. Did
really
I ever
was.
tell you about when I met JoJo Siwa?
No. I saw her at Universal last time I went. Yeah.
Was she drunk on butterbeer?
It was her, it was like her 21st.
Yeah. That
celebration
was a huge thing. Yeah, she was annoying and drunk. I think she needs help. Anyway, but we'd only been in LA for like 3 or 4 months at this point, and we got asked to do a show at Heart WeHo in West Hollywood, partially owned by Lance Bass, who will be teaching a dance class that I will be attending next week. Excited for that.
That is exciting.
Anyway, but we were asked to do this drag show, and we're in the back, and I gotta say, Alexis and I were so excited because this is like a big club. It was this big show with like the House of Avalon, which is like a huge name in drag, and all the performers
also
are
a
from
huge
Drag
name
Race.
in Christian music, by the way. Avalon.
Testify. You know the gay one that they kicked out of Avalon when he was gay? His name's Michael. He lives in Nashville. He's still performing and he's hot.
Does he do like Christian music still?
I think that'd be strange if he did. I don't know. I just follow him because sometimes he's shirtless. Anyway, so
How old is
you know
he?
how like you love boobs? I love pecs.
I do. Oh, I love
I'm a pec guy. I'm really into them. If I can see your pecs through a t-shirt, it's over. I'll pay money. Can I see them? Anyway, Alexis and I are really excited to be there because like everyone in the cast is from Drag Race and then it's just us. But we're also really nervous. We're trying not to feel, like fish out of water, but we do. And we're in the back and everyone's just, it's a fun little kiki. And then JoJo Siwa walks in with her assistant. So there's this drag queen named Eureka. She's from Johnson City, Tennessee.
You don't have to tell me, but for everyone else listening.
She's 6'16". She's just a larger than life being, and she's very loud. Okay? And she's not racist. If anything, she wishes she were black. That's something she has said. Anyway, so she's really loud, and JoJo Siwa's really loud. So JoJo Siwa walks in the room, and she goes, "Ah! You're so pretty. I love your wigs." And Eureka's like, "Oh, honey, baby, honey. Ah!" And so they're just screaming at each other. And we're all just like, wow, this is a lot. And I think Alexis and I can't speak for her. Well, I do. I felt a little like I could feel myself shrinking because I was like, great, an even more famous person is in this room. Like, we don't matter. We are in the way kind of feeling. And her assistant goes, "Oh my God, Darby and Alexis. Oh my God, I'm your biggest fan." And she hands her phone to JoJo and she's like, "Take a picture."
That's awesome.
Isn't it amazing? So the first thing that happens in this room is the assistant's taking a picture with us and JoJo Siwa's taking the picture and she's like, "Smile." And I felt larger than life. I felt so big. So as much as she's like insane and she's kind of on her own kind of version of a slow motion car accident, I will always be grateful for that moment because it really...
for her assistant, So Jiwa. You want to tell my favorite Chili's story? The way he treated the servers in Chili's. Do you remember when he needed a refill and he couldn't get one?
No.
This is a canon event, Drew. So our Father who art in heaven, he was really cool to service people. Super cool.
Mm-hmm. Super nice.
I mean, we'd go out to eat after church on Sunday morning and just... You know those memes that are like, here they are leaving church to go be mean to a server?
That's how all church crowds are.
My most vivid memory, we were at a Chili's. They have, I guess they still have, those like plastic mugs. They look like beer steins, but they're plastic. And my dad wanted a refill and he asked the waiter for a refill. Now, this is a busy weekend. Like there's tons of people. And so he asks again. And he probably had to ask an entire 2 times. One of his moves he used to do was he would walk in the back and refill his cup himself. Do you remember when he used to do that?
Mm-hmm.
Like he'd walk in the back and refill it. Yeah. And then he'd come out and he'd be like laughing about how
beaming.
Freaked out these 16-year-old servers were. He's like, you should have seen her face. Like, good job. But this time, it was the most unhinged response I've ever seen. He was calm. And he just picked up his glass, which was empty, and he just tossed it. And it hit the floor and made the loud... Because it didn't break, so it's just... It's just bouncing all over the place. All the restaurant stops, and they're like,
a grown man threw a cup across the room.
So the server comes over and goes, "Sir, what... Are you okay? Like, what's going on?" And he goes, "Oh, I thought you forgot about us. I couldn't get your attention. I've asked for a refill a couple of times." I think about it every time I'm thirsty. If I go on a walk too long, I'm like, man,
you're about to
Dad threw that cup. Like it's in there. It's deep in my psyche.
I mean, I have a bunch of different like he threw tantrums moments, but I generalize it by saying we couldn't sit too close to the smoking section, the bathroom, or the kitchen. He would flip the fuck out. And everything was the server's fault. No matter what happened, it was the service worker's fault. The story that I tell a lot, the one that stays with me, is the Supercuts or Great Cuts incident with the coffee. Do you remember this?
Yes. Okay, kind of.
We used to get our hair cut at Fantastic Sam's next to the Kroger, but then the woman who cut our hair died.
It takes,
you look great. You look great.
My flyer miles are nuts.
The woman who cut our hair for years died, and so they turned her station into a memorial, which is funny. I'm sorry.
I don't remember this. They turned her hair cutting station.
Yes.
The only thing I remember about Fantastic Sam's was the you would put your hair as a kid, you'd put it in a machine and they'd drop a toy. And for years into adulthood, I thought it was a machine. I would tell people about this technology that you could put child hair into this machine.
You're lying.
No. And the machine would dispense a toy. And then someone one day was like, they just put their hand in there. They just like dropped it in there. And it wrecked my world.
Now I understand why you were in the church for so long.
I was really going to say, I believed like angels were everywhere too. So I mean,
that's true. Yeah,
you
thought
the hair
a demon was whispering in your ear.
Honestly, on the science faith debate, it's more on the science side. It's a machine, so
simple machine. It's a simple machine.
Simple boy. Simple machine for simple boy.
The woman who used to cut her hair at Fantastic Sam's died. They turned
in a
her
horrible haircutting accident.
In a horrible. No, I think she died of a heart attack.
Stress of cutting hair.
I don't know why I said it like that. A heart attack.
She might hear us.
Anyway, she's a shrine now. So we tried to get a new person at that Fantastic Sam's to cut our hair. And it was usually our dad that would take us to get our haircuts because he was so particular about our hair.
We couldn't make decisions about our own hair.
No. The first person that cuts our hair or attempts to cut our hair at Fantastic Sam's next to the shrine cut my ear. And he threw a fucking fit. So obviously we never went back again. And the next place we tried was Supercuts or Great Cuts on Farmington.
On Farmington, Farmington and Poplar. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Already, like, going to get our hair cut was not fun because our dad was a monster, but also going to get your haircut's not fun as a kid, So we're in this new environment and it's already a little
cold.
Stressful.
It was super early in the morning for some reason.
Yeah.
It was like early on Saturday morning.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
It's terrible.
And for whatever reason, and to Dad's credit, it is silly. The entire thing is tiled except for the waiting area. There's carpet in the waiting area of a hair cutting place. It makes no sense. But we walk in, first time we're ever there, right? We walk in and they're like, "Hi. Oh, sir, I'm so sorry. There's no food or drink inside because the whole first half of the place is carpet." And he's like, "Oh, really? I can't have my coffee?" And they were like, "Sorry. We're so sorry, sir. Sorry about that." And he's like, "No problem." He opens the front door. While standing inside, he pours his coffee right in front of the door on the sidewalk. Grant and I are mortified, and he made us stay and get our hair cut. We stayed. I tell that story a lot because it's so silly.
It's crazy. But also, like, he's consistent. I mean, like, his political views and the things that he gets upset about and in the way he responds to things, it's the same. I actually told him about our podcast last night.
No, you did not.
Yes, I did. But listen. He called me. So Mom knew about our podcast, and I told her, "Mom, don't listen to it. You'll hate it." And she's
Mom
like,
knew
"Why?"
about it?
Oh, yeah, but she won't. I told her, I said, "Don't listen to it. You're going to hate it. We say a lot of no words." So I'm talking to Dad last night. He calls and he goes, "Hey, I was just thinking about, Drew's doing all his stuff and he's so successful at it and you're helping him. And I think that's great, but you're very talented. You could do all kinds of different podcasts. You could talk about the church, but he wants me to go a different direction with that." Right. Even though I've said multiple times I want nothing to do with any of that, he still is like, "We're all Christians here." So anyway, I said, "Well, Dad, actually, Drew and I have a podcast and it seems to be doing fine." And I said, "Dad, don't listen to it. You will not like it." And he goes, "Why?" And this is all I had to say. "Oh, we say the F word." And he was like, "Well,
which one?"
He said, "You don't." Well, I mean, one of them is not a curse word to him. It's his ringtone.
Oh, that's true.
He said, well, you don't say it. I know Drew probably does, but you don't. And I was like, no, Dad, it's my go-to. It's my favorite curse word. Like, it's what I use all the time. And he was floored. I can't tell you how many times I've had conversations with him where he's told me that cursing is wrong, and that is in Second Opinions, chapter 1, I believe.
But all he did when we were kids. All he did.
Well, okay. Hang on. In fairness, the only time I ever heard him say the F word was to you when you got out of doing yard work by pretending you didn't know how a rake worked.
Rakes are a lot more complicated than they appear.
No.
You see a stick with a bunch of fronds.
This is one of my favorites. So anyway, my dad won't listen to the podcast because we had the F word. So fuck. The only time I've ever heard him use the F word was Drew broke this man so badly.
Good.
I tell this story all the time. This is like my go-to Drew story about our childhood. It's so funny. It's so...
Okay.
I think it's brilliant. Your move was brilliant. It was absolutely brilliant.
Thank you.
We had a big corner lot that we grew up on. And so when we had to do yard work, we'd split it up. Drew would mow the back and the side, I would mow the front, and vice versa. Like, we'd swap it. And Drew had a talent for doing the yard so poorly. The only thing my dad hated more than gay people was bad yards. Like, bad looking yards,
That's very true. Yeah.
Like, if two dudes were making out on a poorly cut yard, he's upset about the yard.
He'd notice the yard first.
He'd notice the yard first. And once that was fixed, he'd be like, hang on, we got to fix you. Drew would do a poor job on purpose to piss my dad off so that my dad would get so frustrated with him, he'd send him inside. And then me and my dad would stay outside and finish the yard. My favorite example of this was the leaves had just fallen off the trees, and he wanted us to...
beautiful time.
He wanted us to rake the beds. So I'm doing the mowing, and Drew is supposed to be raking, and he's just standing there holding the rake. He won't do anything. And so my dad comes out, and he's like, just rake. And Drew's like, oh, my arms, or whatever. So then Dad's like, here's how you do it. Drew knew how to do it. He was like 12 years old. And so he's doing whatever. So when my dad steps back and watches my brother flips the rake upside down. So the teeth are straight up. And he's like, it's not working. And Dad grabbed the rake and he said, fuck. And he threw it against the tree. And then he said, get inside. And Drew, you never ran inside, you never walked inside, you'd slink away. Like, you would walk away like, okay, if you want me to.
That's what he said. He wanted me to go in.
I guess I'll go inside now and play with my Tamagotchi.
Listen, I did not ask to be raised in Memphis heat. Okay, it's 100% humidity, 105 degrees.
Yeah, it's pretty rough.
That's not my fault. Okay, if he loves God so much, take it up with him.
But
he's the one that did it.
It made me so mad at the time because I had to keep doing the work. But now I look back on it, it's brilliant. It was it was a Marty McFly thing. In Back to the Future, anytime they call him Yellow, he does whatever they want. He's like, oh, who you calling Yellow? Who you calling a coward? And he'll just turn his brain off. Dad would do the same thing. You would make him so mad about the yard. He wouldn't even know what you were doing. And he'd just be like, get inside. And I'd be like, Dad, he did that on purpose. He knows how rakes work. And he's like, and just send you inside. It was brilliant. Truly.
I do have to say that brought me much joy, many a joy, hearing your take on it now. Because, listener, to pull back the curtain, if you will, Grant and I did not get along growing up. Like,
till college.
At all. It wasn't until college, and it was like a year or so into college that we finally were like, well, we're brothers, let's try and live together and see what happens. And then we did get along. But growing up, we were awful to one another.
Super
and by
competitive.
that I mean Grant was awful to me, and I was just a sweet little boy.
Well, we would get mad about, like, we would think each other were stealing each other's friends. Like, I didn't want you to talk to my friends.
I didn't have any friends.
You didn't want me to talk to your friends.
Yeah. So in the church, you had all the boy friends, and I had no friends. Every church thing we did, we went on a youth trip to like East Tennessee, which is like a solid 6.5 hour bus ride.
Yeah, more than that, but yeah.
I sat in silence the entire 6.5 hours and the entire 6.5 hours back. And we weren't allowed to have any like secular stuff with us. Like we couldn't bring magazines or anything. And I did bring a couple cracked magazines, and the youth pastor came up to me and was like, you're not supposed to have those, so go ahead and put that away. And I was like, I'm sitting here by myself. And he was like, okay, go ahead. And so he let me read my magazines because he felt so bad for me. So in that respect, I wanted your friends because I didn't have any friends. I had a really tough childhood. I was feminine and, well, that's enough. That's enough to be seen as like an absolutely disgusting person.
And in the
it was
church,
hard.
That's true.
Yeah, it was a super hard place to grow up. But now hearing you view my sassiness as brilliant, I needed that. That healed me.
At the time, I was very upset about it. And now, of course, looking back on it, I'm like, he played dad brilliantly. Like a fucking fiddle. You have that as like your, oh God, that made me so mad at the moment. I have one of you getting dad that I was going to say that I laugh about, but no, I'm still mad. Okay. So Grant and I were fighting, as we always do, and our poor mother, poor mother, she had broken all of the spoons across our behinds. Like she did. And we would run away from her, run around the house, and bless her heart, she had it. So when she eventually just couldn't do it anymore, she'd say, wait till her father gets home. And that was a real threat, because Dad would come home with a genuine leather belt, alligator skin
we
belt.
Would get whipped.
Do you remember when he broke the alligator skin belt on us? So he had a lifetime warranty on it, and he would go trade it out after every few years. And it was already worn, and he was going after us. I don't remember which one it was. Maybe probably both of us. And he's just swinging, and it broke. It hit one of us and broke. And anytime that happened, I did play the Drew card then, and I'd get real dramatic, and I'd be like, "You broke the belt on me." And
don't call that the Drew card.
Oh,
you were doing that for yourself. Shut up.
No, but I'm saying I was using your skills to act up on it. It didn't always work. One time I put a Bible in my pants before he spanked me because I thought he'd hit it. Is this a story?
The story I'm about to tell. Shut up.
Okay, we'll cut it.
No, let's not cut it, because it sounds like you're remembering it differently than I did. So maybe my memory is wrong. But basically, we got in trouble. I got a spanking as soon as Dad got home. It was Grant's turn to get a spanking, and he put his Bible drill Bible in his pants because it was the only one that was like a hard cover.
Hardback. Yeah, it was the only hardback.
Hardback. He lays across Dad's lap, and I remember Dad laughing. I remember Dad just losing it.
He did.
And not
he called Mom in.
Is how I remember. But no, you still got a spanking.
That's the unhinged part. I was watching a Little Rascals, and Spanky did that. Spanky put a Bible in his pants, and the guy hurt his hand, and he got away. And so I was like, I'm going to do it, and Dad's going to pull it out, and he's going to feel bad. He's going to see that it's a Bible, and he's going to feel bad, and he won't do it anymore. So Dad did exactly what you said.
He got you good.
He hit it, pulled it out, started laughing, called Mom into the room. They all had a good laugh, and then Dad spanked the shit out of me. I still got it, but he was calm.
Okay,
good. Before he was mad, and he was like, ah! But this time he's like, what a great laugh. And he got me anyway.
I've been telling that story for years, that you got out of it that way, and I was so upset. But I think maybe I just wanted to be mad.
It's a better story that I didn't, because it just shows how unhinged that moment was.
And listen, we don't support that type of behavior. I just want everybody to know.
Yeah, we're not walking around hitting kids. Don't hit your kids.
No, not anymore. Not since the judge says I can't.
Thank you, everybody. I hope your mental health is mentaling. And
as RuPaul's Drag Race Twitter account once said, we all have mental health,
and you can't love your others if you aren't on RuPaul's Drag Race Monday nights
RuPaul
at 7 p.m.
Is that
Eastern.
you?
No, but seriously, thank you to all of our patrons as usual. And here's what we'll say. There's exciting things in the works. Drew's hard at work on some things. I am medium at work on some things, not hard.
Yeah.
And we've got a lot going on I'm excited about. There's going to be, we're recording something later this week for Patreon that's going to be really interesting. So
I'm so excited.
If you haven't joined our Patreon, please do. My kids are very hungry and I need your help. Thank you to everybody. And thank you for letting me scroll your names across Drew's face, whatever direction that is.
It feels good. I like it.
Drew, do you have anything else to say? Anything else to add? Any other wisdom nuggets to drop out of your wisdom brain hole?
Listen, Trump's a bad guy. Okay. And yeah.
You heard it here first, folks.
Will people
hot take.
Will people hurt because he's president? Probably. Will people die? Yeah, probably. But he is kind of funny.
If we survive, it's funny. Goodbye, everybody.
If we survive, we thrive.